Hey guys, I don't know about you. With the Super Bowl parties this last weekend, I kind of went off the wagon. I ate way too much dairy, it seemed. I ate a few too many chips, and I felt it almost immediately of leaving that party to go home to put the kids to bed. And you know what? I need a good reset. Today, I started that. I woke up at 4:45 to go to the gym. It's been quite a while since I've been to the gym. And now, at my lunch, I'm taking a walk because I need to get out and to do things. Because over the last 2 weeks, I had spent roughly 9 days straight stuck inside between snow days and illnesses for every person in my family except myself. That was very hard. Sure, it was some great time getting to spend with my family indoors, but also we didn't get to enjoy it because every one of them were sick at one point, and trying to handle that, we didn't get to enjoy the time. It was snot, it was fevers, it was trying to manage them rather than getting to truly enjoy some solace and some peace together as a family alone. We didn't even get to go out and enjoy our 8 inches of snow that we got. It's crazy that today we are about 7 days out from that snowstorm. It was around 0 degrees. We got 8 inches of snow, and today it's 80 degrees, and I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt and walking a trail. It's crazy, the weather here in Oklahoma. But during those 9 days, I found myself giving every excuse under the book as to why I could overeat, as to why I could enjoy dairy way more than I should, and why I could allow those little subtle cheats that I wouldn't normally allow myself if I was in a normal schedule. And why I wanted to make this video is to show you guys the real life as well as the real results, even if it seems that they're bad. And not that my life is bad, but the choices I've made recently have just been poor choices for the eating styles, for the exercise habits, and just the lethargic lifestyle that I've lived recently. Between work busyness, child busyness, and just life in general, it seems that I haven't been able to really stop, have a retrospect, look at what I've been doing and the choices I've been making and where that's been leading me. Because with this channel, you normally have me in my office with studio lighting and getting to share the past stories of what's happened and to bring me now. But today I'm sharing with you the struggles that I have on this very day, of how I've gained a little bit of weight, of how I've been struggling with some body insecurities, some mental insecurities, and just trying to find this new groove along with having sickness and snow days. But this morning I woke up and I made the choice. You're gonna get up, you're gonna go to the gym. That 1.5 miles that I run when I go to the gym, it was probably one of the most miserable runs that I've had, because it's been weeks since I've been regularly going to the gym. And then the strength training, it hurt my shoulders, every bit of it, because it was weight that I was doing every single day at one point, but today it was almost miserable. And why? Because I've been giving myself the excuse of, Jordan, life is just so crazy. Life is just so hectic. Everyone will understand if you gain a little bit of weight. Everyone will understand if you're not eating the way you should. Everyone will understand if you're just a little more tired. But you know what? The moment that I left that gym, I felt better than I have in weeks. Because I got to let my body breathe. I got to let my body work out. I got to let my body be pushed rather than just sitting and resting and becoming aching and finding another excuse as to why I can't do this or why I can't do that or why I can't eat what I need to. And so today, I'm here to share with you what this reset is gonna look like for me. Each day, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna go to that gym. Even if it's hard, even if I'm miserable for that first little bit, because I know what it's like to leave the gym and to feel good about the results. I know what that feeling is like, so why do I keep giving myself excuses to live the way that I am? So I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna make my espresso like I do each morning, but instead of making a latte, I'm gonna make an Americano. If I'm dying for something, I'll put a little bit of butter in it. If you've never had a butter coffee, it's really good. And I'm going to make sure that when I do need to eat, that it's going to be whole food. It's going to be beef, it's going to be butter, it's going to be bacon, and it's going to be eggs. It's the typical BBBE, because I know that reset not only works for me, but it makes me feel better than I ever feel. And so instead of just remembering what those feelings are over these last few weeks, I'm going to live in it. I'm going to get out during my lunch break and enjoy God's creation. And I'm going to sit around my dinner table, and instead of bringing half of myself, I'm going to bring my full self to invest in my kids, to play with them, to be there for them. Am I going to be perfect? No. But I'm going to give it my best. Because these last few weeks have been hard. I've been at home with them, and that's been fantastic, and I loved every second of it. But I also allowed myself to fall into a pit of the typical excuses. I allowed myself to wallow in self-pity. But today, I'm making that change. Tomorrow, I'm going to carry that change. I'm going to be that example for my family. I'm going to be that example for the people that I coach. I'm going to be that example for my viewers, and not this face that pretends to be carnivore. I'm going to live it out, because I never want to be that. I never want to stray away from the struggles that I have, even with you guys, because the struggles is really where we get to test how strong we are in the carnivore life. And as I've said before, I wish I didn't have to live this way. I wish I could eat a cheeseburger and French fries every single day. But I've seen and I remember the way that it made me feel when I lived that life. And now, living carnivore, getting to eat as much as I want and not feel disgusting afterwards, as long as I'm sticking to the beef, butter, and bacon and eggs, it's been life-changing. I've shared that story with so many. I've shared my journey. I've gotten to share other journeys. But this reset, it starts now. And you know what? My kids might get sick tomorrow. We might have another snowstorm. We live in Oklahoma. We often have all 4 seasons within 1 month. But even then, I'm going to make sure that I don't give myself the excuses. I have 3 years of the results on carnivore to get to hold myself accountable. I get to see the before and after pictures. I get to live the real life and real results. And so that's what this reset is going to do. It's going to show me that, hey, while you've made these mistakes, while you failed a few days, you're not going to go back to the old Jordan. You're not going to be 399 pounds again. You're not going to be living off a sleep apnea machine. You're not going to be living off of 2 blood pressure medicines, a cholesterol medicine, a gout medicine, an eczema medicine, all these different things that just left me feeling miserable and being dependent on other things to live a sustainable life rather than just eating what I need to and being active. So I hope you'll join me. I hope you'll be there to encourage me. I hope you'll be there to hold me accountable when I need it. Because this journey is hard. This journey is sometimes isolating, but I've learned to just lean into it. I now have my wife doing it with me. She's been getting amazing results, and she's been there to encourage me along the way and to help me keep on track by buying only the things we need to have in our household, to help change the way our kids eat, to help change the way that we have dinner parties and go to events. And that's where I need to make sure I'm maintaining that consistency. because last night, Rachel and I both said, hey, we need to make up a little bit of ground beef to take with us so that we don't give in and enjoy things. So that we don't give in and indulge on things that we shouldn't. And you know what? We didn't take that ground beef. And I was starving because I hadn't eaten at all yesterday because it was a Sunday, so that means it was a work day for me. And when I got to that party, I had the queso. That was way too much dairy. And then I wanted some more queso, and so I had it with some chips. If I'm just gonna be real and be honest, I did. And then I had some buffalo dip, which again had more cheese in it. And I allowed myself to do this because I didn't prepare myself. It wouldn't have taken but 5 minutes to cook the ground beef that we already had in the fridge. Even if it was in the freezer, it would defrost within 5 minutes in the microwave for me to cook another 5 minutes. But I thought to myself, Jordan, you have more willpower. And normally Jordan would have complete willpower not to do that. But with fasting all day, and then also not bringing something to get to enjoy and eat during that party, I gave in. And that's where we fail. When we fail to plan, when we fail to execute, we have to know our weaknesses, and we have to be ready to fight them, fight with them. We have to be willing to say, hey, I'm not strong enough right now, so I need to take this meat. Or I'm not strong enough, so I'm not even gonna go to the party. I've done that before. To make sure that I'm not waking up with aches in my knees. And oddly, I had ache in my elbow this morning, all from eating what I shouldn't have last night. I want to make sure that I'm feeling good. I want to make sure that I'm being the example for my kids as well as being the example for viewers. And so here, today, we start the reset. I'll check back in throughout this week to tell how this reset's been. I'll be able to tell how my eating habits have been, how my exercise habits have been. If I've gained weight, lost weight, if I have aches in my knees and muscles, or if I feel great. Because I want to share this with you guys to where you can see how truly transformational this can be. And no, it may not mean that you're going full carnivore if you're wanting to make some changes. It may be that you're doing a modified keto version. That's fine. But make some changes. Eat whole foods. Know what ingredients you're partaking in to where you're not feeling miserable and gaining weight and being stuck to machines and medications and feeling miserable. Know how your body responds and feed it what it needs versus what those evil cravings are telling you. And so guys, I want to hear from you. How did you fare with the Super Bowl parties last night? Did you take what you needed to and you stayed strong on carnivore? Or were you like myself and gave in a little bit and didn't do what you needed to do? Or hey, maybe you didn't watch Super Bowl at all. At least the first 3.5 quarters, there pretty much wasn't a football game to watch. But I hope you like this video. If you do, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs this encouragement. Because I don't do this to watch videos of myself. I do this to help bring to the table the community I so much needed 3 years ago. I had all of these carnivore personalities to be there to encourage me, to convict me, and extort me to do what I needed to do to change my life from 399 pounds down to 370, down to the low and mid 200s that I am today. So guys, if you want to see more of this journey, hit that subscribe button to see what happens next, because I want to share this process with you. I want to be able to look back and see how far I've come, to see the willpower I've built, to see the struggles I've been through, to keep holding myself accountable so I don't fall back into that. See what's coming next. See what this real life leads to, if it leads to real results or a real failure. Either way, I'm here to share that journey with you. And until next time, go forth and carnivore. Bye, guys.